realize something. Animal migrations are beginning. Bad time.
Got an update to a story we brought you on Monday. We have new information about the man who had his hand bitten off by an alligator at a golf course community in Lake County.
And a wild safari standoff caught on camera is going viral. Tourists in South Africa got more than they bargained for when an elephant attacked their safari truck, nearly flipping it over.
This woman spotted some cute bear cubs frolicking in a tree. What she didn't know is Mama Bear was nearby.
Rangers are searching for a killer crocodile which hunted down a teenage boy in trouble in the Torres Strait.
Good evening. An elderly couple have been found dead in their West Auckland paddock, believed to have been killed by a ram.
It was scary. I've never been so scared, actually.
Carrie Chinosky is trying to get away as a coyote jumps right over a fence, chasing her through her neighborhood.
Where's the cougar at? It's on top of her.
Now at 11, new 911 calls have been released from a group of terrified mountain bikers who were attacked by a cougar Saturday just northeast of Falls City.
We're going to turn to the deadly bear attack. A black bear pouncing on a man in an unprovoked attack on his property in Arizona.
It's man versus coyote. And this guy isn't about to lose his tussle with the wild animal.
A 16-year-old schoolboy is in hospital tonight after being attacked by a shark during a bizarre fishing mishap off Glenelg. He and his family had just reeled in a white pointer when the giant fish turned on them.
So, I want you guys to do me a favor. You guys that have possibly walking routines and other things, be careful. Be careful. Bears are out of place, and in fact, all types of predators, especially those that travel in packs, are out of place. They're not in place. They've been found in various places they shouldn't be. No place is safe, and they're out there hunting. Something is happening to the migration patterns of most predators, so be careful. There have been quite a few predatory species animals, cats, big cats, found in places where they should not be, right? They just shouldn't be there. And many reports are coming in, and hospital visits of people who have, their animals have been attacked, and they have been attacked, stalked. So be careful with that. Reasons for that is we have an entire systematic change of the earth underway right now. Right now it's underway, so I would expect anything to be normal, right? Those magnetic changes we talked about last month, they are beginning to take effect. That means your personal animals are going to be under its influence. Birds of prey, same thing. So you got to be careful, vigilant these days. I need to explain this so you guys understand. Your data is disconnected from you. Okay, your data. This was about, let's say about 22, going up to about 6 years ago. It was disconnected from you. So your data was being analyzed, but you were not. Well, in that data, people who have been here for at least 5+ years, living in the USA 5+ years, they were prone to emotional prodding. And what I mean by that is anytime social media story that gained ground or possibly a headline was connected with it, people had exhibited absorption personality, which means they would easily begin to mimic anybody else who was in somewhat of a radicalized mindset, and it would begin to multiply. We're talking about Americans here, not anybody else but Americans. People also had become highly opinionated and violent behind their opinions, right? Meaning, in that data, people who were close to retirement all of a sudden became very irritated, agitated. This happened about 15 years ago. You're talking about people in their 50s and 60s. They became very agitated for no apparent reason. Well, environmental issues and influential issues from space actually lended a big hand to that. But they became very talkative and very opinionated. These opinions had started a trend, and people, analyzing that data, people had become extremely upset behind differences of opinions, where in most cases that wouldn't, it wouldn't cause a person to be upset. Due to the sheer exposure of one person to another, to another, to another, and the breakdown of these borders because of social media, it caused somewhat of a mob mentality to begin to form. So people had bought into many different speeches and articles and opinions. Now, it seems that people are radicalized behind articles or the news. And when I say radicalized, it means if Fox or if CNN, NBC, any of these major carriers, if they print an article and people hate it, they become radicalized against the elements of it, and they begin to fight each other over it. Today we face, I know they're showing on the news college kids, right? But let me give you an example of something. In the last 3 or 4 days, domestically, there have been hundreds of domestic problems in neighborhoods. People with, they've been there for a long time, but now they've been fighting over this Israel and Hamas issue, right? Neighbor to neighbor. They've also been fighting over the voting issue. There have been people out there who have been, they normally go out and they tell people to go vote or something like that, right? Now they're being attacked. People are being attacked, right? People are being attacked over their affiliation, whether it be Democrat or Republican. And if anybody finds out what you are, there have been people who have been killed. The murder rate is going up among radicalized individuals who do this. And so it's very difficult to handle in a situation like that where, we're talking about in this country, between those who have been here for at least, who have lived here all their lives, right? Some of the people who immigrated, but no less than 20 years ago, right? So if a person immigrated here 20 years ago, and they're not of the suspected immigration type, which means they are, somewhat real normal. They really like American ideologies. These people, with the rest, are becoming quite agitated, irritated, and violent behind domestic issues, not your normal issues, right? The cities are going to be quite vulnerable to a lot of inner city fighting that will take place shortly, right? And the sad part, here's the sad part. Out of the people involved in these things, we're talking about folks who have lived here all their lives, right? You would think it would be over this, especially this Jewish issue. There have been people who have lived here all their lives. They just had no platform to speak their hatred on. Now that they have social media, in the last 20 years, anti-Semitism has gone through the roof. Be attentive in this, because see, on the news, this is an election year, so everything is going to become political. Make sure that you are sure about your sources of who's starting what. Listen to me carefully. When a person has a darkness within them, they're going to exercise that darkness and use everything as an excuse to exercise that darkness. If a person has no darkness in them, it does not matter what's happening around them. You cannot elicit a person to commit what folks today are committing if a person has no darkness in them. Are you ready? For those you don't think are violent, to show who they truly are. It does not matter what the circumstances are. Circumstances only give an excuse for those who want to exercise these dark things, to exercise dark things. If it's not in a person, it will not come out. Sorry, it won't. So we have a big problem. It's rising, it's increasing. You know, there are big questions about this very thing, because no one knows what to do about it. No one knows. It is something that no one has really experienced before. Unlike what you guys are about to see in your animals. Many of you guys have some pretty docile animals. Those animals may not be docile soon. They may not be. Some, because of certain changes, or you could say clashes, in our environment, could begin to become irritated, agitated, quite mean. A natural response in the animal kingdom to an environment that is changing rapidly. Might see that. Humanity is changing. It is. I mean fast.
This has been the Confidential Report. For even more stories like this one, make sure to subscribe to our channel today. And please show your support by clicking the like button on this video. For even more stories and news you deserve to know the truth about, follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you for watching the Confidential Report.